So hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your intellect trinket guide. And today we're going to take a look at Kardris' toxic totem. So on the left side you have all the stats for multi-strike, on the right side you have all the stats for toxic power, which is the intellect proc on this trinket. And we're going to start off with multi-strike. The chance of getting a multi-strike is different for each version of this trinket. So if you have the Raid Finder version, the unupgraded will give you 11.1%. If you have one upgrade, it will give you 11.5%. If you have it upgraded twice, you will give you 12% chance. With the flexible mode version, you will get 12.4% unupgraded, 12.9% with one upgrade, and 13.4% with two upgrades. With the normal mode version, you will get 14% flat with unupgraded one, 14.5% with one upgrade, and 15.1% with two upgrades. The normal Warforged version will give you 14.8% unupgraded, 15.4% with one upgrade, and 16% with two upgrades. The heroic version will give you 15.8 unupgraded, 16.4 with one upgrade, and 17% flat with two upgrades. And the Warforged heroic version, which is the best version you can get, gives you 16.7 unupgraded, 17.3 with one upgrade, and 18% flat with two upgrades. One very common misconception about this trinket is that it's actually worse than the Breath of Hydra trinket from Throne of Thunder. That is not true. This trinket is better than the Hydra trinket. Other than that, the multi-strike has no internal cooldown. It will proc from damage over time effects and will not proc from pet attacks, so stuff like mirror images, force of nature, shaman elementals, and warlock pets will not trigger multi-strike. Plus, it has a separate spell ID and a name. It's listed as multi-strike in recount, which means that it will proc off of Shaman's Mastery, Elemental Shaman's Mastery, but it will not proc additional Elemental Shaman Mastery. And overall, from the research I've gathered and from my personal tests, the multi-strike will do somewhere between 3 to 9% of your total damage. And personally, from Siege of Orgrimmar, I've been getting somewhere between 90 to 120 multi-strikes per fight as a boomkin. Now let's move on to the second proc, the intellect proc, and that is called toxic power. Now, if you have this trinket upgraded twice, the Raid Finder version will proc you 10,037 intellect, the flexible mode version will proc you 11,226 intellect, the normal mode version will proc you 12,671 intellect, the Warforged normal version will proc you 13,399 intellect, the heroic mode version will give you 14,303 intellect, and the heroic Warforged version will give you 15,124 intellect. This proc does not have an internal cooldown, which means is amazing bloodlust trinket, and it has a 10-second duration, plus the proc chance is the same for each version of this trinket, so the proc chance does not change. And if you don't already know this trinket is obtained from the Kor'kron Dark Shaman encounter in Siege of Orgrimmar, and is also better for certain specs than it is for others. For instance, boomkins with Force of Nature will have weaker multi-strikes overall than boomkins with Incarnation. And that's it from me. I thank you a lot for watching and listening. I wish you good luck with obtaining this trinket, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.